I think there's like somebody right there, their gadgets are on. So it brings back the echo. But I'm just going to go ahead and do my presentation. Quite excited. I've been following through as much as it's a hectic season where we're also working on preparing our youth for an event tomorrow. Something similar. Hang on 1 minute, please. It could be something similar to what you are doing right there. Maybe the only difference is our focus for tomorrow, it's technology, and it's going to be technology integrated with climate change. And these are topics that are very close to our hearts. And these are topics that as well, we're trying to emphasize on, we need youth to jump in. Lovely to see you all, young boys and girls. And as you face so many challenges, like I listened to you and heard you mention the challenges you're facing, just know that youth is the best time of your life. You are a gem, you're a gold mine, and Africa needs you. However, you've got work to do. We have our responsibilities to raise you as responsible citizens of this world. And you have a bigger role to play because the honors are on you. You're going to take the lead. I understand, I appreciate so many challenges. And I also appreciate so much that you have organizations like this particular one that is holding your hand. You have people committed, you have parents, you have guardians, all these people that have spared their time to come and speak to you. That is a gift. That is a gift that I want you to embrace and run with. So on this particular topic, as we speak about empowering the boy child to complement girl child development, I'd like to get to some impactful talking points, which will leave you thinking about, am I making a difference within my community? Can I do better? Is this what the world expects of me? So as we champion the girl child, knowing all the challenges the girl child has faced, we can't afford to leave the boys behind. Because then again, it's like flipping the coin. So the coin needs to look beautiful both sides. If you have a coin and only one side looks really nice, then the job is not done. Thank you so much for showing me the girls and boys. Girls and boys, please wave. I'm sure you can see me. Let me know that you're listening. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. This is brilliant. This is pretty nice to see that beauty. And just to give you some few points on things that you should go on with life, noting and making sure that you embrace. Gender equality is a discussion we've had since time immemorial. You've watched it since we used to say the girl's place is in the kitchen. It's no longer the case, and the girl has to rise up to the occasion. But then, just without repeating what previous speakers have spoken, because you've listened keenly to great advice given, we need both of you to be able to run the race. So let's try as much as we can to pinpoint on the issues, challenges that we face, like the norms. So when you talk about changing masculinity norms, can we be able to sit back and define what is expected of me? This thing that becomes like such a big deal, the transition of age and what the society expects of me. How can I make sure that as I transition to a teenager or youth or becoming a man and becoming a woman, do I understand my body? Do I understand how to deal with those feelings? You study biology, so this is not a new topic to you. So how do I place myself as a role model that everybody will look at and respect? We understand there are so many surrounding circumstances that sometimes hinder our progress. However, like the previous speaker said, if we have senior women sitting in one of the most senior positions in the world that came from the villages, then we should not let our backgrounds define us. We can rise up, we can show up, we can be the change that we need to be. So trying to understand the gender ecosystem is fundamental for you to get to know. I didn't choose to be boy or girl, but here I am. Who am I? What is the society expecting of me? How is a responsible girl supposed to show up? When I look at you in your ties, in your beautiful dresses, in your beautiful skirts, your beautiful pants, straight up, I can try to define what kind of children you are. These are responsible children. These could be prefects and leaders. And do we have them as ambassadors that are taking change in their community, that are always on the lookout and telling others, we have a particular way. So as we try to create that nurturing and supportive environment, you also have a job to do. Take the mantle and do it. Complement other children, observe them within their child development, be that leader. Then, of course, we have gender inequality within education. And this is critical and important. So as we know, we're talking about STEAM and STEM education, and we're not choosing that only boys can do mechatronics, can be engineers. We've seen girls rise up to the occasion. But as a boy child, can I also support girls in my class so they don't feel intimidated? We know we are wired differently, but then we can do it. We can do it. And the world is not presenting us with so many choices that I was selected for this career, or I need to do this and that, and I can't do it because of my gender. No, we've seen world-class chefs who are men. So why not? Then the role modeling, male figures as mentors should be able to demonstrate equitable behavior and support females for them to get empowered. So showing practical ways to support your peers, where you've been selected as a class prefect, but you don't feel like just because you're a boy, now you have to flex your muscles, or because you're a girl, you need to behave in a particular way towards boys. We need to be mindful of that. Then inclusive opportunities. Let's advocate for creating spaces where boys and girls can collaborate, like literally what you are doing right now, where we can foster mutual respect and understanding. I love the concept of creating clubs. I'm not sure if you are a club member, but if you're not, go to your school and start a club. Even if it's a STEM club or boys and girls club, it could be leadership, it could be anything. But when you meet, that's where you share a lot and mentor, collaborate, learn to make friends, learn to problem solve together, think critically, and build a better world. Then I will go straight to inclusive opportunities. That, of course, with that mutual respect, you will see that there are some spaces that this is particularly for girls. There's a club that's been fostered within my school, and it's for girls. Just because you're a boy doesn't mean you can't go and support those girls, or vice versa. Then mental health and emotional intelligence. I wouldn't drop this topic without talking about mental health. We know that we're living at a time where suicide rate within youth and teenagers is rising, and it's shocking and it's scary. How are you taking care of your emotional well-being? So it's very important that when we have those discussions, we discuss, it's critical that we support each other. When we feel we have anxiety, who do we turn to? Do we have our pillars? Do we have a mentor? Do we have a guardian that we can always talk to? Are we talking to our peers and trying to find out, how do I help myself when I have all these call to deal with, these exams, these academic expectations from my teachers, and I have my personal issues that I'm dealing with? We lose parents, we lose siblings, we go through stuff. What do we do? How do we deal with that? And this I would stress so much as we navigate those issues, for us to focus so much on communication skills. That will be the block. If we can learn to be good communicators, then we can be able to halfway mitigate some of the issues we're dealing with. So I would stress effective communication, listening skills, expressing ourselves without fear of being judged. Just find a way. I insist on, you can talk to me anytime, open communication. Of course, I'll emphasize on it should be respectful, but boys and girls, anytime, I should be the first one, if I'm working with you, to know when you're very disturbed, when there's a boy that is teasing you or a girl that's teasing you. Otherwise, that's how you open the platform, and the person who is guiding you goes further and helps you to navigate the world as is. Community engagement, this is critical. We are community people as Africans. We know our backgrounds matter. So how are you showing up within your community? Are you a member of a church? Do you belong to the youth leadership community that's in your neighborhood? So it's very important that we engage in those initiatives. Let's support the projects we're seeing. You're very lucky with somebody like Adebusui. You should be very active. You should do a lot of volunteer work. It helps you, it builds you, it makes you a better person. Then I'll leave you with some homework. Try and understand, what do we talk about when we say policy and advocacy? How do we add the need to make sure the policymakers, which is the stakeholders, our government, right? Our UNICEF or UNESCO, civil societies, all these people, how do we call them to task? I've seen the rise of children courts in Africa, children parliaments rising up. Do you belong to that? You have a voice. You need to be heard. As we say, and this should always be emphasized, not about us, without us. You cannot afford to have people making decisions about you and you're not in the room. You count. Remember, if they don't bring a chair for you, if there's no chair for you on the table, you bring your own chair. Do you know that, boys and girls? Have you seen there are kids that are always picked to, even in homes? You find your mom and dad, there's always one of the children, they come and ask, what do you do about this? Because you're active, you're involved. I think with that, I'd love to keep engaging and hear much more about you. And maybe one day as we run our competitions, you join our boys and girls from Botswana, right? To join Team Up. We do competitions with children in Mauritius, in South Africa, in Tanzania, in Kenya. Would you like to join us? Thank you so much. I hope you're all listening. I hope you can all hear me. I'm going to hang on for a few minutes and wait for your questions, if you have any questions. But it's been my pleasure to engage and talk to you. Thank you and goodbye.